The Lamb to the Slaughter by Roald Dahl. Retold by Thomas Arnst. Animations by Kaden Becker and Lila Fontenot. The story begins with a lady named Mary Maloney, who was pregnant. She's waiting in the living room for her husband to get back home, and she was sewing to pass the time. Her husband Patrick, who was a local police detective, arrived at 10 till 5, as usual. When Patrick came in, he got more whiskey than usual. Mary was worried and asked why he was acting so peculiar. He answered that he would explain. It took a few minutes to tell her the reason, but the main idea was that he was planning to leave her. It was a tough decision to tell you, but I think it's the best for both of us. I'm about to go out soon, so you don't need to make me any supper. Mary was stunned for a moment. Then she got up, shaking with shock, and she said, "I'll go get the supper." She walked all the way down to the kitchen and stood in front of the freezer. The only thing she could feel was a slight sickness. She opened the freezer and grabbed what she saw first, a frozen leg of lamb. As she walked back into the living room, he didn't bother to turn around to look at her. She didn't think anything. She hit his head as hard as she could. Boom! Patrick, her former love, fell to the floor like a doll. So I killed him? Now what? Mary knew the penalty of murder. Death. No matter what, she was not planning on dying anytime soon. Mary took the huge hunk of meat and threw it into a pan. She shoved it into the oven and then ran upstairs. She freshened up, feeling like she had just killed someone. Oh wait, she had. Then, like any good actor, she rehearsed her lines. Mary had a plan, and a woman who has a plan is unstoppable. She practiced her smile, and then got up and went out. Mary walked down the street to the grocer's. When she got there, she ordered potatoes and a can of peas, because she was going to make a soup. Once she had finished getting the groceries, Mary hurried home. There, her husband was, like she knew he would be, all crumpled up on the floor like smelling laundry. Mary, with some effort, forced the feeling of their old, dried-out love into her heart. She threw herself onto the floor and began to bawl uncontrollably. After a few minutes, Miss Maloney quickly dialed a police station. When the police arrived, she knew them both and fell into Jack Noonan's arms and cried. They questioned her on what had happened. Mary answered shortly, saying, "I went to the grocery store to pick up more food for dinner. When I came back, I called for him. There was no answer, so I got worried and rushed to the kitchen where he was when I had left, and I found him dead on the floor." She continued to cry as the policemen searched the house for the murder weapon. It began to get late, and the two policemen were getting tired from searching for so long. Jack Noonan went into the kitchen, but then he quickly came out and said that the oven was still on with the lamb in it. "Oh, I completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me," Miss Maloney said. She hurried into the kitchen and took out the meat. When she returned to the officer, she said, "Would you guys do me a favor? You guys are both good friends with Patrick, and you're helping to catch the man who killed him. I would believe that you guys are tired and must be starving from all this work. Why don't you guys stay and help me eat up this lamb?" Noonan said, "I wouldn't dream of it," but Mary begged that they stay and eat the lamb. The two officers hesitated, but ended up taking her up on the offer. They went to the kitchen to serve themselves. They ate together, enjoying the lamb and taking in the night's events. "I have a strange feeling that the weapon is right under our noses," Charlie said as he burped. Mary, in the other room, began to giggle violently upon hearing this remark.